Okay, today we are going to cover the second lecture of production and planning. But before that, we have to check some configuration and logistics on general material master basics settings and material types, define attributes. Here we will define various kinds of material types because each material type has a different treatment in SAP. For example, if you go into ROH, which is raw material, so we have various types like raw material, semi-finished, finished, packaging, competitor products, non-value-added stock, free goods, coupons, firm fit goods, manufacturing parts, spare parts. These are some of the types that are basically covered here. If we double click this, we have the treatment for every material type. And when we are creating a material, for example, a raw material, these are the screens or elements that are available to us when creating the material master, like accounting, MRP, purchasing, sales. Then we have this treatment for purchase orders, whether this will be procured externally or will it be produced internally. We have external purchase allowed, but warning issued. External purchases are allowed because raw materials are usually purchased from the outside. Internal purchase order, which is plant to plant. Okay, internal purchase orders are also allowed. Okay, and then we want to see whether these material types are evaluated with quantity and with value. Value is in money in terms of monetary terms, and quantities, of course, in quantity, whether it is liters, kgs, and whatsoever. Now, material types, non-valued material, double click. Okay, let's check where is our non-valuated material. Non-valuated material should be here. Non-valuated. Okay, non-valuated UNBW. Double click. Okay, in non-valuated materials, what is the treatment? What are the screens that are available to us? Basic data, plant stocks, forecasting. Okay, now these are the treatments that are available to us, but quantity and value updating will be nothing. Only quantity can be updated. Okay, now these can be your free goods, scrap goods, or goods that are made as a byproduct, but byproduct too have a value, but products that are not usable in the books will not be evaluated. Their values will not be updated in the system, but their quantities can be generated. That usually happens. Okay. Value not updated in non-valuated material. ROH Helpford. Now this is raw material, semi-finished, finished. Valuated plus quantity. Yes, these three are valuated. These carry a value and the quantity is also updated. Service material type. Some cases are not evaluated and the quantity is updated. Now, service material, if we have a look at it, service material, service. So we can create our own types as well. Like we have something like starting with Z or Y. Okay. So we don't have a service right now, I guess. Semi-finish, raw. Yeah, we had service here. Yes, service for Toyota. So we can make our own as well. Okay. Services are not evaluated. Sometimes they are evaluated as material types, pipeline for calculation of overheads in oil and gas. Logistics generalized material master, configuring material master, defines structure of screens for each screen sequence. Okay, standard industry sequence, subscreens. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. Material master, configuring material master. Configuring material master. And assign sequence to user material type transaction. Define structure of screens for each screen sequence. Structure of screens for each screen sequence. Now, this basically are the industries. I guess it's 16. No. Standard industry sequence. Data screens. Now, these will be the screens that will be available to us. Zero one standard sequence, subscreens, click OK, view data screen. Now, these are the data screens. Okay. General plan. Now, these are screens that will be available in material master. For example, I click this and select this. So these are the screens that will be what these are the fields that will be available to us. Okay. And view subscreen. Now this is the subscreen material description plan. Now these are the fields that are being governed from here, from these fields. Okay. From these fields. So I select this, view subscreen, control code, production com number. Okay. Country, region of origin. Now these are parts that are available in material master. MM01 basic data screen, basic unit of measure, mandatory, material group, mandatory, cross weight, optional. F1 tank info table that we'll see is Mara. Field is BRGEW. So MM03. Okay, we'll just pick up any random material. Basic data. Okay. Base unit of measure. This is each material group. Now, this is basically if we will see how we can make this mandatory. F1. I click F1. I go into technical information. In technical information, I have table name Mara, field name is Mines, Mara Mines, and BRGW, which was BRGEW. Material group mandatory gross weight. Gross weight. Now, what is gross weight? Where is gross weight? Okay, gross weight. Okay. F1. BRGEW. Okay. Mara BRGEW. Logistics General Material Master Field Selection. Field selection. Okay, assign fields to field selection groups. Assign fields to field selection group. We've already seen the fields. Field name Mara BRGW. Field name Mara BRGW selection group 16. Selection group. Field name Mara BRGW. Okay. Selection group is 243. Let's go back. Same configuration of material master field selection, maintain field selection for data screens. Maintain field selection for data screens, 243. Field selection group, 243. Mara BRGEW, cross weight, and we can make it required entry. Okay. Select field option, hide, save, repeat, MM01. All fields are required now. Unit of weight, net weight. Okay. So gross weight. So if you can make it Okay, we can make it for finished good required entry. Okay. And from here, it can be made required entry. Field reference. Field selection. MM1901 ROH. Okay. MM01, MM02. We can make it required. We are not doing that, but I'm just showing you. Logistics Material Master field selection. Define industry sectors. Mechanical engineering, we can add our own as well. Define output format of material number. Define output basic settings. Okay, in basic settings. Output format. Basically, define number range for each material type. Material number for each material type. The number range for each material type. Okay, let's go ahead because configuring material master, basics and define number range for machine external number, check grouping assignments of material groups and check intervals. Material number, it can be maximum 8 and we can have leading zeros as well, but we'll keep it as it is right now. Okay. Number range for each material type. The material type is, as we have seen, display groups, raw material, semi-finished. Now, herb, form fit, function, class, raw material, semi-finished, these are given number ranges. Now, what are number ranges? Number ranges are available from here. Okay. We'll check that later on. Logistic material mass basis and define output format. Now, these are number ranges. Define basic settings, output format. Output format of material numbers. We've already seen that. Production. Yeah, we've already seen that. Production material master. Okay, front end. Front end logistics production master data. Production. Master data. Material master. Material. Create special. And we have raw material and things like that. Extras. Settings. Display technical names. Logistics. Production master data. Material master. Material special. Now we have MMR1 for raw material. Period open close MMRV, MMPV. Okay, from here we can make raw material. Okay, now so we have for every material type MMRV company code. What was our company code? You can't remember that MMRV, MMPV. MMPV is MMPV, and this is how we actually open and close months in production. You will be able to work with basic BOM terminology. What is a BOM? BOM is basically bills of material, and it actually shows the components that are required to build a product, a finished product. Over here, the finished product is motorcycle. Okay. Now, finished product is like a pen. For example, we're taking this example. It requires a refill, stems, caps, bottom cap, bolt. Now, these are components, material that is required to make a pen. The categories are several: material, sales order, document strategy, standard, functional location, equipment, BOM. Okay. The prerequisite is that we have a material. We should have a material and a plant existing before we create material, build material. Okay. Are we done? Okay. So that was it for today. I hope you like the format and the lecture. We have studied a little bit of Material Master today. We'll be covering the next part very soon.